In this video, I'll be showing you how to make Masoor Dal, also known as red lentils. The full recipe and measurements are written in the description box below. In a saucepan, you want to heat some oil and then add in the sliced onions. Leave the onions to cook on the lowest heat possible while you clean and wash the lentils. Check through the lentils to get rid of any rocks and dirt. Using some warm tap water, wash the lentils really well. You need to make sure that the water runs clean. Depending on the brand of lentils you have used, this does usually take a few minutes for the water to run clean. As you can see, after a few rinses, the water is now becoming a lot more clear. Once the water is clear, leave the lentils to soak in some warm water. Returning back to the onions, you now want to turn the heat up quite high and start to brown the onions. As the onions are sliced very finely, you need to make sure that you're constantly stirring. This will ensure that they brown very evenly. After a few minutes of the onions softening, you want to add in the salt. Mix this in really well and continue to brown the onions. After a couple of minutes, the onions will start changing the colour and you can see that they will start to be lightly golden. At this stage, add in the ginger and garlic paste. Make sure to cook off the ginger and garlic really well, as you don't want a raw taste. As the onions are now golden, you can now turn the heat down to slow or medium. The ginger and garlic paste will only take a couple of minutes to cook. It should look like this when done. Now add in the chopped tomatoes and mix in really well. With your spatula, you want to break down the tomatoes. Next, add in the chili powder, along with some water to avoid the chili burning. Mix this in really well. Continue to cook and break down the tomatoes until they have fully softened. At this stage, add in the cumin seeds and continue to cook on a slow to medium heat. Make sure to keep breaking down the onions and tomatoes to create a smooth masala. Now add in the tomato puree. Mix this in really well. Continue to cook the masala for a couple of more minutes. Next, add in the chopped green chilies. Mix these in really well. Once you've added in the green chilies, you don't really need to cook the masala for much longer. It should start turning into a deep red colour and should look like this when done. Drain the excess water from the lentils and add them into the masala. Mix the lentils with the masala in really well. If you had the heat on quite low, you now want to turn this up to medium if you have water in the pan. Next, add in some coriander powder, half the garam masala, and mix this in really well. Once you've added the coriander and garam masala, you only want to cook this for another couple of minutes. After a few minutes, the masala will have infused really well with the lentils and should look like this. Now add in the boiled water and mix once really well. You now need to leave it to cook on a high heat for about 10 minutes until all the water has evaporated. Make sure that you don't stir while this is cooking, just simply swirl the pan around. After a few minutes, you'll begin to see the lentils as they soak in the water. Every couple of minutes, make sure to swirl the pan around. This will make sure that the lentils don't stick to the bottom of the pan. Once most of the water has evaporated, you can now turn the heat down to medium or slow depending on your cooker. Once most of the water has evaporated, turn the lentils over for the first time. Be really gentle when doing this as you don't want to break any of the lentils. Finish with the rest of the garam masala and some fresh coriander. Mix this on top really well. You don't really need to stir all the way to the bottom as you'll break the lentils. The water has now all evaporated and you can see the oil appearing from the sides. It's now ready to serve. You can serve this dal with some rice or bread. If you like this recipe, make sure to subscribe to my channel and leave a thumbs up and comment down below. If you do make this recipe, make sure to follow me on my Instagram page, Foodatives. The links are in the description box below.